2 degrees here in central Minnesota, 17 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock on your Thursday morning. It is now time for On Sarah's Partyline on your Thursday. Partyline today brought to you by Chiropractic Connection and Wimmer Opticians. We have Dennis Fuchs and Mark Lefebvre in studio today as Dennis and Mark joining us on your Thursday. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having us.
You are welcome. You're always welcome. When it works for you, apparently.
Yeah, right? We're just trying to schedule, and it's like the month of February is kind of booked.
Well, what's the deal?
Well, you got the farm show. We got meetings with our One Watershed, One plans. We've got our management team meetings at the office just to coordinate programs and projects. It's just a lot of stuff.
Other than that, nothing going on.
Yeah, nothing going on.
Good problem to have, though.
I mean, Mark,
job security.
You beat me to it, Mark. It beats sitting around, waiting for, in 3 weeks we get to go over to KASM. That'll be fun.
Right.
Getting those days kind of stacked up a little bit makes the time go a little quicker.
Yeah, and hopefully it means we're getting some work done, helping landowners, farmers in the county. Yeah.
Chris Hogge was out of commission this morning. Actually, wasn't feeling good most of the week, so he was not able to join us. And so this morning I come in the office and I go, "Hey, Mark, would you like to join us on KASM?" Well, boy. So thank you, Mark, for joining Kirby and I.
So enthusiastic, Mark, just ready to get in.
Well,
here.
And part of the problem is Mark's leading our conservation planning team, and we've got a lot of environmental quality incentive program signups through NRCS, and NRCS doesn't have their team up to speed yet because they haven't been able to bring the folks that Chris has been talking about hiring for the last couple of years. They just haven't filled those positions like we hoped they would have. So it leaves a lot of that work to our SWCD team, and Mark leads that. And so, Mark, I don't know if you just want to talk a little bit about how many applications you guys are processing. It's always open. Anybody, you can sign up for EQIP anytime. But they have scoring and ranking periods throughout the year where they'll take a look at the pile of applications and then fund the highest priority ones. And then they'll move on to another sign-up period, or not a sign-up period, but they'll be scoring and ranking and funding those applications first.
Yeah, so we've got currently for the 2023 sign-up over 80 applications, and there's a lot of those were deferred from last year. They're unfunded, so they're going in again to get scored and ranked to see if they can get funded for 2023. Yeah, it's a process. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered as far as what practices the farmers are going to adopt or agreeing to adopt to get either get some cost share on, and the waste storage, manure storage type practices, stacking slabs are very popular requests. So we have to go through all those. Lots of administrative time, and our staff, the SWCD staff, is helping NRCS with those scoring and rankings. So,
could you still submit one if someone's listening right now?
It's past the sign-up deadline.
There
There could be a sign-up 2, they call it. So, yeah, we would continue to take applications ongoing. Whether there would be dollars left after this first sign-up has been scored and ranked is probably doubtful, but we keep hearing there's going to be some Inflation Reduction Act dollars backfilling EQIP. So we haven't heard if those are going to become available yet this year. More than likely next year for 2024. So I guess just wait and see.
Mark, what are the benefits of this application for local farmers or residents?
It's bringing federal dollars in to help assist farmers in both technical assistance and financial assistance to adopt a lot of conservation practices, ranging all the way from reduced till, no-till, nutrient management, pest management, cover crops are very popular, and those are kind of management practices, we call them. It's like a per acre, per year payment for like 3 years. And then there's the structural practices, erosion control. We've got a number of those in the targeted area in the Bacchus Lake subwatershed. Erosion control is big because we've had some severe storms the last few springs. So like water and sediment control basins, terraces, those kinds of things. And then the large dollar applications are like what we call ag waste storage facilities, manure storage,
Okay.
basically, and then the associated practices to get those reduce runoff, improve storage of the manure so it's better utilized on the cropland. Those are the big dollar ones.
Dennis heard no-till, and he hasn't been that excited since that northern crawled through his window at out in South Dakota. That's the dream, right?
Yeah,
when you get
right.
the no-till, that's your goal. That's the goal. You love hearing that.
Yeah, no-till. It gets me very excited when I hear people talk about what they're doing for soil health practices on their farm. And it provides an incentive payment and technical assistance, so you're getting some dollars to make an adjustment to what you're currently doing for crop residue management. We're just using cover crops and crop residue management as an example. And then you get the technical assistance through our office, and then also you get an incentive payment. And like for an ag waste, is that 50%, 75%? Is it range kind of?
Yeah.
A range in what you see?
It's probably somewhere between 50 and 75% because it's not based on an actual cost share like in the old days, so to speak.
Sure.
Where it was a percentage of what it cost the farmer. Now it's based on an average cost. It's a payment rate. If you put in this many cubic yards of storage, cubic feet of storage, you get paid this much. Whether if it's depending on if it's concrete or an earthen basin for liquid manure storage, it's all based on average cost. So it's NRCS looks at what it costs over the last few years, and they set that payment rate.
With sounds like a pretty awesome opportunity for the local farmers. And did you say upwards of 80 applications already?
Yes, that's what we have right now. We're in the process of scoring and ranking, and that deadline is next Friday, the 3rd. So it's kind of crunch time right now. We're trying to get,
So
farmers.
you really didn't want to come here today because you had work to do.
There's plenty of work to do back at the office, right? Yep.
I'm trying to teach him to delegate better.
I love it, Dennis. Attaboy. Pass the buck. I love it.
And I'm working with 4 awesome conservation planners. They're really good at what they do, and I'm just trying to guide them, so to speak.
Sure.
So
leadership role. I like it, Mark.
Kirby, I just want to thank the listeners too. Our county, Stearns County Commissioners, provides the SWCD a nice baseline funding every year to provide the support that we're providing to our farmers.
Built
and
in the
landowners.
budget, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And without that support, we would not be here to bring these federal dollars into Stearns County. So just kudos to all of you listeners out there that support the SWCD and what we do, and really appreciate that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think last year, for information, we had over $3 million in EQIP funding that came into the county. So it's significant. So it's a really good advantage that we can provide that assistance to the farmers.
And you look at our water. Surface waters in Stearns County, we've got a lot of impairments out there yet where we've got too much phosphorus, nutrients, bacteria in our lakes and streams. And even some of our groundwater's got too much nitrates. So, working through our office to better improve management of your nutrients and storage of your manure and reducing erosion, we all benefit. If you're not a farmer but you like fishing and hunting, it all plays together. It's a big circle.
Yeah. Well, and that, Dennis, it's really a good way to look at it too. If the local, person who lives in town and they hear this stuff, like, well, that doesn't. I'm not seeing any return on any of that. Well, you fish, you hunt,
exactly.
You go out on Lake Wobegon Trail for a walk or a bike ride or something like that, and you see that beautiful, area out there. We're all kind of together, and that's where that money comes back to help all of us.
And you cannot have good beer without great water.
Well said.
Yeah, right?
Who would have thought, Mark? He pulls it right to the beer can right away.
Always comes back to that.
Yeah. Who had 927 on their bingo card for Dennis talking about beer on Partyline today? Because you get to dob your space right now. But, yeah.
And then I got a meow in there. What time is it?
We had 927, so double up. But a couple minutes here before we break for news and markets. That second, just circling back, Mark, that second application opportunity, that's not set in stone? That's more of a...
we would take application. We continue to take applications.
Okay.
Like people have called after the deadline was like November 18th or something.
Sure.
For this sign up to be scored and ranked in sign up one. So if we had applications, and we have had a few that have come in after that, We put them into the system. We can't score and rank them this first sign up.
Sure.
So, yeah, they can still
But
sign
they're on
up.
file, and
Yes.
you'll
Yep.
kind of get to them when you get to them?
Yep.
Once the desk is clear?
Right.
Once Dennis lets you work?
Yeah.
There we go.
And Mark brought this up earlier. The Inflation Reduction Act has kicked in a tremendous amount of money in the next few years for the Environmental Quality Incentive Program, quadrupling or doubling the amount of money coming into that program. So if you've been kind of dragging your feet because you maybe put an application in earlier, you talked to somebody, a neighboring person that submitted an application and didn't get funded, and you kind of got turned off, now is the time to get your name on that list because there is additional funds coming. And if you got a son or daughter that would like to take the farm over and you know there's some resource concerns that they would like to have addressed, a beginning farmer also gets a higher payment rate. What are they called? Limited resource?
Yeah, it's called historically underserved. It's kind of a lump together. Beginning farmers, socially disadvantaged, and financials.
And if you look at our Stearns County farmers and, well, across Minnesota, the average age of our farmer is increasing.
Up.
Yeah, it's upper 50s, I think, is the last time I looked. And it's time to start moving it to the next generation. And there's funding available to help make those management adjustments to improve efficiency and sustainability of that farm. So come in the office or give Mark a call, 320-251-7800, extension 3. Ask for Mark Lefebvre. He'll get you on the list. And don't do it right now because he's on radio.
Well, you got a voicemail.
Radio live right now.
He's got a voicemail.
He'll get back, and there'll be 10 voicemails for you.
I was just chuckling at, and I think this is where Mark's humor went as well, that you're giving out his number as opposed to your number. But he's teaching you how to delegate, right? On air training right here.
He's very good at that.
Yeah.
So I got to learn from him.
On the job training from Dennis Fuchs.
Oh, and Kirby, before we cut off, I just want to say happy birthday to Mike Hemman.
Okay.
He hit the big 5-0. A lot of farmers in Stearns County have worked with Mike in the past and really appreciated the technical assistance he provided. He's now working in South Central Minnesota. But, hey, happy
birthday, Mike.
Yeah.
50 big ones.
Yes.
There we go. Look for the card in the mail. Address label returned, D. Fuchs. We'll have more to come with Dennis and Mark coming up on the way from the SWCD on Partyline, brought to you by Chiropractic Connection and Wimmer Opticians.
Governor Tim Walz unveils his bonding recommendations for state public.
From Minnesota, we're back to Sarah's Partyline. Partyline brought to you by Chiropractic Connection and Wimmer Opticians. We have Mark Lefebvre in studio today, along with Dennis Fuchs from the SWCD. Public speaking, Dennis Fuchs, yesterday, I'm told.
Yes, I was at the Minnesota Erosion Control Association conference, and that was right here in Wade Park. We were at that Park Inn.
The Park Event Center?
Yeah. Wow, is that a nice facility? We also had our Soil Management Summit there in December, and that is just a great place to meet. So we got really a couple nice locations on this end of town. Holiday Inn has been remodeled, and that's a very nice location, and then Park Inn Event Center. And of course, we got the River's Edge Convention Center downtown. So we've got a lot of great places to meet here in central Minnesota, right in that St. Cloud, Wade Park area. So that was great. And so the Minnesota Erosion Control Association, that includes a lot of different types of folks that are part of this association. And they've been putting on these annual conferences for 35 years. And they look at not just ag stuff, but also urban stuff. And like stormwater management, managing erosion during construction, making sure you have silt fence and temporary erosion control, stabilizing the site. And I just want to let listeners know, because we focus a lot on farmers with some of our discussion, but our urban communities are also doing a lot of work. And we had Noah Check, he's a stormwater specialist with the city of St. Cloud, give a talk, and some of the things that they've done. And they've implemented a ton of stormwater management stuff. And that little Lake George downtown was on the impaired list for phosphorus for many years. And they identified some treatment processes that they could implement to help get that off the list. And one of them was the alum treatment. Alum is a product that ties up phosphorus in the lake and brings it to the bottom and makes it not usable by algae. And the other thing that they did is installed a massive stormwater sediment collection device off just in the parking lot. It's now under the parking lot, and it's a massive thing that they can take all the sediment and stormwater pollution out, and it cleans up the water before it enters Lake George. And we were part of that project and brought in some state funds to help clean up that lake. So that he talked about that project and some other things they got going on in the city of St. Cloud to clean up their little sub-watersheds before it enters the Mississippi, which is very exciting. And it's, we got a forum coming up, which I forgot to print out. But we got an Ag-Urban forum coming up here at Gorecki, and that's going to talk a little bit about the city of Albany and some of the work that they did here. And that is free. It's going to be at the Gorecki Center. I'll grab some additional information on that when I got a breath here to talk about it.
Gorecki, that's on campus, right? St. Cloud State?
Nope, St. Penn's.
Oh, St. Penn's. Okay,
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. And that's another beautiful meeting spot. And it's just a morning from 9 to noon, and I think it's March 1st when that's happening. And let's see, I won't be on here until March 3rd. So I better get that word out right now.
You're busy late February? I didn't know that. I didn't have that figured out.
Delegate. Oh, so the other thing is that they recognized some folks yesterday at the conference, and one of them was our supervisor, Chuck Uphoff, and his wife, Deb. And they received the Environmental Leadership Award. And Chuck has been very active. He's been on our board since 1999. And I started with the SWCD in 1996, so I've known Chuck for a long time.
Sure.
He's a great friend, a great leader, a great supervisor, and I'm just very appreciative that I've been able to have him as a mentor. He when I was talking to him about becoming a supervisor, and I told him it's only one meeting a month. That's all it is. Well, he found out that it's a little bit more than that. And he's the type of person that volunteers his time to help out and create really good policy to protect our natural resources. So he's got a 475-acre farm, which he's now transitioned to his son and his wife Ashley, but he still helps out a lot there. But he's on our One Watershed, One Plan. They have policy committees, these watershed management units across Minnesota, and he's involved with two of those, the North Fork of the Crow and the Sauk. He's also participated in some really excellent leadership training across that's offered here in Minnesota. One of them is the Minnesota Ag Rural Leadership Program, and that included a one-week study at Washington, D.C., 9 meetings across the state of Minnesota to explore resources across, like you go up in Duluth and you look at the shipping, you go over to Red River Valley, Southwest. Each part of Minnesota has got some really unique industries. And then that also included a 2-week stay in South Africa. That was part of the international. He also, this guy, man, he's got to learn to delegate. He's president of the Midwest Outdoors Unlimited Wobegon chapter, and that organization has a mission to provide outdoor recreational activities for disabled folks, people with disabilities. And Deb and Chuck offer opportunities on their farm for folks to come out there and hunt and, really explore the outdoors. So it's just a great organization that he really puts a lot of time into to making sure it does. He also spends a lot of time with our political leaders. He has met with Secretary Vilsack when the Minnesota Ag Water Quality Certification Program was being developed down at the St. Paul campus with the University of Minnesota. He meets with our local legislators here in central Minnesota every year at our legislative briefing at the Capitol. And then he's been interviewed by KASM, the Minnesota Public Radio, the Farmer Magazine, Pheasants Forever magazine, Successful Farmer magazine.
I can see why Dennis had a tough time writing your introduction speech yesterday. This moss doesn't grow under this fella.
Right?
He's a busy guy.
And so he was the Minnesota Erosion Control Association works with Scott Storm, who used to be a local artist, and he got a frame print the audience and introduced Chuck and him to speak. But I know he would have had some great things to say.
Sounds like a fun. That was yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
There we go. Sounds like a nice award or a nice, appreciation, lifetime achievement for Chuck. So
he's looking at, he got reelected this past fall, but he is looking for somebody. He represents the west portion of Stearns County,
Okay.
those townships. And he is exploring an opportunity to exit the board, to spend more time with the grandkids and do other things. And we are looking for a female that would like to take that role and be part of the team. I'm not going to be with the SWCD forever. One thing that I would like to see is a female on our board. We traditionally have gray-haired white guys like me, and we really would like to see a female on the board to bring a whole different perspective to what we do as a soil water conservation district. So if you're interested, don't be afraid to give me a call.
Oh, wow.
At 320-251-7800, extension 3, and ask for Dennis and say, I'm a little more. I want to learn more about that supervisory type of position with the SWCD. And these folks don't get paid much. They get a per diem for a meeting, which is $125 in mileage to go to the meetings. But those meetings, it's only one meeting a month.
His tongue is firmly in his cheek while saying that.
No, if you want to get more involved, there's lots of opportunity to volunteer more of your time to assist with setting good conservation policy and directing the direction of the Soil Water Conservation District. So if you're interested, give me a call and we can discuss it. And Chuck would like to get off the board sometime. And when he does identify, or we identify a person that would be great to fill those shoes with no moss under his shoe,
There we go.
we'll do the maneuvering.
Mark, first things first, he means business. He gave out his real number. He didn't give a fake one. But the idea of getting some new blood into your guys' organization, that's something that, I'm not breaking any news here. You guys aren't getting any younger or anything like that. So you're looking for some.
It's good to have different perspectives, especially at the board level, because I served on the SWCD board way back when I was farming in Wright County, and I learned a lot along with trying to give my opinions and perspective on policy. So it's a great experience, and I encourage anybody that would be even considering it to really look into it more.
And I'm not complaining that with my former supervisors, they've all moved on from when I started in '96 to today. But I've been blessed with an awesome board, and having a good board member and that team is crucial to the success of a soil water conservation district. And so we're really looking for somebody that really appreciates diversity and has an opportunity to listen and understand other people's points of view, and then can share their points of view in a civil way. That type of thing, because we work with all types. We're not partisan. We're nonpartisan.
Yeah.
So we work with everybody to solve our resource concerns. And
some forward thinking, some listening.
Yeah.
Be some great. I got a novice question right here. You served on the Stearns County board as a Wright County farmer?
No, I was on the Wright County SWCD board.
Wright County. Okay.
Way back in the day.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
For a second there, I was like, well, you let an outsider in there, Dennis?
Well, when I started in '96, I saw Mark at the Minnesota Association of Soil and Water Conservation Districts convention, and he reminded me of a person from my neck of the woods. And are you related to these guys? Well, I found out his brother wrestled this guy I was thinking about, but it's a small world.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
sure.
So I knew Mark before he started working here.
Don't worry, he starts most of his introductions with, "Do you know this guy?" With people he doesn't know. No.
He knows everybody in Stearns County.
Yeah, he's good at that. That's what he's good at.
Yeah.
Dennis, you told me you guys have some events coming around the corner.
Yeah, I was going to have Mark talk a little bit about
Yep.
the nutrient delegate the nutrient management conference, and then if we got time, I'll talk a little bit about our Pheasants Forever Banquet coming up the first weekend in March.
Perfect. Mark,
so
the floor is yours.
The 15th annual Nutrient Management Conference is going to be held right in St. Cloud at the Holiday Inn on Tuesday, February 21st. And I've gone to a number of these, and they are very good. It's geared to farmers as well as crop advisors. And this year's agenda includes updates on the nutrient management initiatives, potassium, fertility. It's put on by the Minnesota Ag Water Resource Center and the University of Minnesota Extension. It's really well done, and it's up-to-date research. Other topics are nutrient management with irrigation, between the interaction between irrigation and nitrogen. And then the last section is beyond inorganic fertilizers, considering economics, climate, and organic sources. So it's current research data presented in a way that can be implemented on farms. And agronomic information. So it's really a good conference. I suggest, since it's right here in St. Cloud, that take advantage of it.
Yeah. I mean, the resources right there. Go in. Great networking opportunity, I would assume.
Yes, and there is an online version if you want to, zoom in and see it online as well. But it's always good now, especially the COVID is not quite as a concern, to have in-person conferences like this, because there's a lot of networking that can go on during that. So, is there
RSVP or?
Yeah, there's an online registration.
Okay.
I think it's $20. So it's minimal, but it covers like the meal, because there's a noon meal. So yeah.
And there's also a virtual option too if you just want to zoom in at home. But in person is so much better. I mean, it's so close, and the researchers are right there. And if you got additional questions, it's a great opportunity to have these folks maybe explore answering that question with future research. So come on and check it out.
What's the website again, Mark?
It's
or is it on? Is it on your guys' website?
Yes, it is. We have a link on ours. It's www.mawrc.org and then /events.
Gotcha.
And or otherwise, just jump to our website and we got a link to it too.
Sure,
right on our calendar.
And Kirby, I wanted to let the listeners know too. Our Stearns County Pheasants Forever chapter Banquet is coming up here. That'll be the first Saturday in March, which is Saturday, March 4th, and it'll be at the Holiday Inn in St. Cloud. Starts at 5, and really should go online and get registered for this also. Just look for Stearns County PF or Stearns County Pheasants Forever, and there'll be an opportunity to get registered. This is a fundraiser. I'll say that point blank. It's a fundraiser.
Yep.
And they generate funds for habitat and education of our youth. We spend a lot of time on board of directors, Joe Whippets and his sporting clays team, or trap team. They do, a lot of schools are getting involved with trap
those
shooting.
are so big now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Joe is a big-time shooter and spends a lot of time with youth and getting them educated, helping pull teams together. And we also do a lot of work with Habitat. They provide us, the chapter provides us funds for our backyard habitat program, which are these smaller portions that are currently mowed, but we can convert them into pollinator habitat, which really helps young pheasant chicks and lots of other habitat too, including bees. So that's going to be coming up here mighty quick. But I also... We got a little time here. I want to say that we're going to be recognizing our outstanding conservationists at this event too, which is awesome because we did have them on the show here last time we were with Kirby, and I think everybody enjoyed that and the opportunity to meet them in person at the banquet. So we'll have them there.
Talking the Janskis?
You got it. And then also we had a new award this year that the board put together in 2022, and we're going to be recognizing Scott and Kate Schaefer's for the Wildlife Habitat Stewart Award. And that's something that we're working with Polaris. Jim Snowmobile out of Holdingford will be presenting an award to them along with us. And it's just another way to recognize folks that are doing great things for our habitat. And that's a new award that the SWCD board created because we do the Outstanding Conservationist, which is more ag-orientated. And this Wildlife Habitat Steward Award is now more for folks that are doing strictly wildlife habitat.
Yeah.
So a lot of farmers are doing wildlife and agriculture, but this one, like the Scott and Kate Schaefer's, that is a strictly wildlife habitat. They are doing some awesome things on a piece of property that they own, and you can learn more about that at the activity too. And then I talked about that Ag Urban Forum.
Yeah.
And let me get my phone open here, and that is going to be on March 1st from 9 to noon. It's going to be at the College of St. Ben's Gorecki Center. That's right on the St. Ben's camp, and this is free. And it's just going to be from 9 to noon, so there's no lunch or anything like that. There's a lot of good places to eat in St. Joe, Right, Mark?
Yes, I recently moved there.
Oh, Mark's got it all. He's got it cornered over there.
And here's the tagline, or something I'm going to read. Hopefully I got enough spit and keep my flow of words here. Plan to participate in person to learn more about what the ways our ag and urban partners are working together to prepare for extreme weather events and improve water quality around Minnesota. This fourth annual event will focus on extreme weather resiliency with a keynote speaker, Heidi Roop, from the Minnesota Climate Adaptation Partnership of the University of Minnesota. And it starts off at 9, and then she's going to be giving the keynote presentation. And then they're going to have some successful partnership perspectives after her talk, which includes City of Albany and the Stearns County SWCD about their water-based infiltration and wetland restoration project. And then they're going to have the Wilkin County, that's up in the Red River Valley, talk about some of the work that they have done. And then water communities tackling climate change, some of the things that communities are doing to successfully manage these intense rainfall events that come every so often, and more often than they used to. There. And
Got it done.
You can get that information online. So you just once again, you got to just Google Ag Urban Partnership. And this is put on by the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. If you put that in your search, you'll get right on, and you can register and right online, and it's very easy to do, and it's a great event. I'm planning on being there. Some of our SWCD supervisors are going to be there. We're going to have some additional staff, so it'll be a great opportunity to visit with me and others about some things that you're concerned about, and we'll see if we can tackle them. Dennis,
you mentioned staff. Before I let you off the hook here, and because I know someone's got some work to do today. Someone probably doesn't, but someone does. Before you mentioned staff, do you guys still have openings?
We had a position open last time we were here, the water plan coordinator position. That closed on Monday.
Okay.
And we had 5 applicants. We'll be interviewing them here in a couple weeks. And hopefully we'll have a water plan coordinator on board to help manage all of our One Watershed, One plans, our Minnesota Department of Ag groundwater protection rule, local advisory teams for Cold Spring and Melrose, the groundwater protection rule for the Bonanza Valley area, our drinking water supply management areas for all of our communities, and also our USDA local work group collecting information along with a lot of other stuff.
So, yeah. That's a big umbrella.
Yeah. These One Watershed, One plans are very work intensive, identifying areas within the watershed that you should be focusing public funds on. And it takes a lot of coordination amongst partners because it's working with multiple counties and SWCDs and NRCS and others to accomplish what we put in the plan. You fail to plan to fail. Well, we did a lot of planning, so I don't think we're going to fail.
There we go. All the information, anything we touched on today, it's all available on their website, Stearns County, SWCD.net. Check that stuff out. Where you could, if you only caught the tail end of this interview, you can find that on there at some point as well.
Exactly. This tape, this recording is sent over to our office. Brittany Linsmeyer manages the outreach activities with the SWCD. She puts it on our website. You click on that, click on the little YouTube, and you can get all of the KASM radio shows that have been produced. Not only the ones with Kirby, but also the...
way back, Brad, and all those back in the day.
Yeah, and our weekend 5-minute tapes.
Oh, yeah, your dirt tapes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mark, what'd you learn today? Delegate.
Learn to delegate more.
There we go. Well, I'm glad you got something through today. Mark, thanks for coming in, and Dennis, always a pleasure seeing you as well.
Yeah, and just want to shout out to my Stearns County spearing friends out there. Howdy. Didn't mention anything bad to Kirby about you, so we're good to go.
All right. Till next time. That's Dennis and Mark joining us here on Sarah's Partyline. Partyline brought to you by Chiropractic Connection and Wimmer Opticians.